So Teddy Hart, I tried to start recording once and it wasn't recording by accident. Got to be perfectly honest, I want to record something kind of fan friendly because I'm a fan of wrestling and grew up in. Um, but I see this situation where I don't understand why Teddy was out of jail when he violated his house arrest or home monitoring the first time. I think I said something assuming he'd be in jail till I think his court date's April 23rd. There was another one, someone had April 10th. I'm pretty sure his was late April, though, like April 23rd or so. I assumed he'd be in there till then. I don't know. Maybe they put a little bail and he got out or help, but obviously he did get out. But he must have obviously still had the ankle bracelet and so forth. And I think that maybe part of his violating it was that he lost the place to stay. Maybe it was a situation somewhat beyond his control. I really don't know. So there could have been mitigating factors why he violated it. Either way, he got back out, apparently, obviously. Um, you know, this incident in Ace, Montana, an indie wrestler down there, went to El Maria and stuff. He seems like a good dude, someone I have similar feelings about wrestling as he does, and I live in what I would call like the Don Owens territory, and so part of what draws me to the story and these people is, kind of Don Owens and Stampede wrestling being kind of like that, just geographically makes it that way, so there's a kinship feeling, and I'm actually from not far from where I live now, but the other side of my state, just a very few miles from the Canadian border. So, I don't really view uh, myself, my family, or north of us in Canada and on this coast or whatever as a different culture. It's just pretty much the same thing, and but if I have something to say, I want it to be fan friendly and out of deference and reverence to the Hart family, if nothing else. But I know it hurts to, as a fan, and to eventually know that the real life behind people in wrestling and things. And don't get me wrong, I don't care for the way it's all opened up now and stuff. I'd like to see what's on TV and what you see, just be able to be there. And when you're old enough to get it and understand you are, and I would like to see it opened up like it is now. Wrestling fans will know what I mean. Um, I don't care for that, but when you do recognize the real life behind the people, it's hard to do that. And people that have any idea of ever being in the business or seriously meeting or knowing people in it eventually come to where they know, for one, people in wrestling, it's their own culture, and the guys especially have everyone, even that aspires to be in wrestling in any way. Usually there's a big ego. They have their own culture, and so you really come to know that the people behind it are not what, as a fan, you see and know, and you have to accept that, and it's hard on your heart to do that. And at this point, I just see what the real deal is, and it's I want to, if I say anything at all, be fan friendly, and I don't take any credit for anything Hannibal and guys like Andre Corbeil report on situations with Teddy and know that family and everything, but I just have feelings on it is all. So anyone that hears and cares, that's fine. Um, but I know Ace Montana spoke about the house he was at and wishing he'd saved some pictures and things being thrown about and things he didn't even know what they was and couldn't even fathom how the house could have got in that shape. And I saw what he was leading up to. He explains the situation that was going on in the video of this altercation between him and Maria and Teddy. And it's on Hannibal TV now. Yesterday it was kind of hard to dig up, but I finally did. And it explains Teddy kind of partially undressing and picking things up, putting them down. In the video, he was doing that. There's a part people laugh about. He's saying, "Fuck you, Teddy Hart. Fuck you, Teddy Hart," and get the fuck down the road. And at one point, he says, "Get your juice box and get your shit and get to fucking stepping," you know. And it's kind of funny now looking back on it. It was pretty funny, but Teddy was partially taking his clothes off, picking things up, putting them down, and he didn't understand the behavior for one, was making him nervous, but he recognized he goes into great detail about working as a bouncer, his dad having a bar, and recognizing body, English, and human behaviors. And I knew what he was leading up to. That for one, Teddy was trying to delay the inevitable. He was going to have to leave, and that's where I guess he was apparently supposed to remain on house arrest, but he was going to jail at that point. He might avoid the cops for a while. Even if they didn't call the cops just then, he wasn't going to be there. He was going to leave, period. And if that was where he was on house arrest, even if they didn't call the cops, he was going to jail, you know. He was just trying to delay the inevitable and do like he said, try to remain there, get along with Maria, talk to her, and smooth it over. And who knows? I'm sure he didn't really have any plan in his head. He was just trying to delay it. And the behavior, I'm sure, was making him nervous. You know, he was a gun owner and pulled the gun. And I don't, I think he handled himself well. And the fact that he had the gun and everything made it to where he could just flat defuse it and didn't have to do anything or have any danger. And Ted had to just keep his distance and just move on. And he didn't waste much time pulling it. He just forced his way into the house without having to do that. But then once he knew things weren't right, he pulled it, and I'm fine with that. You know? But I'm glad it was safe and everything. But you know, the condition of that house, and then the condition of the house today, and you know, Teddy was wearing a women's Ring of Honor shirt, a tennis shoe, and what Ace characterized as a rapo flip flop. And I know what that means and stuff. It's not a real friendly term or anything. I won't illuminate it, but um, but it also just means a flip flop. So, but he had a tennis shoe, a flip flop, a women's Ring of Honor shirt, and like a women's sweater and some flowers tied around his waist. And you know, I don't mean anything negative, but I know that you know I recognize that behavior as you know, obviously he's saying when he was drug induced, but you know, methamphetamine, or, you know, he could be on ecstasy or something, who knows, you know, but obviously amphetamine, something or other. That behavior specifically was like a tornado went through the house, picking things up, putting them down, the incoherent speech and everything, saying random things, saying when he was walking away that he wanted to book a match with Ace and this Pork Chop Johnson, his partner on the Indies, and Teddy and Lanny Poffo, and it was going to be a match. And I don't know. To be perfectly honest, it's true, like I said, and I have a heart for wrestling too. And you see things like that, and you really see the people behind it and have to grow up and stuff. And you know, it's hard for me to say a lot more right now, and we'll kind of see. And you can refer to Hannibal and guys like Andre Corbeil, and they get the credit. I just say something because I can, and I have some feelings on it. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Have a good one.